Oh, choice. I think that's good choice. I think Theo Farge for me. I think his injection at the right time, doing what he needed to do, and the way he just worked his side round and showed that he's sort of stepping into that role as a frontline halfback that we didn't think we thought he'd be a bit part player a while ago, but I think he probably does it for me.
Fair enough. Good stuff. Highlight of the week for me on the field of play was that Coote try. I just thought it was great team interplay, speed and skill and it involved forwards and backs in that kind of move all the way up the field. So I think well done to the Saints on that one through gritted teeth.
So I think the Hurrell try to tie it up. I think in terms of moment for me, I think that just it capped off some great work and as a team, and I think that they got what their effort in that last bit had deserved.
Yeah, hard to argue with that either, really. In the predictions, Alan went 1 out of 2, whereas I went 2 out of 2, although I did it kind of the wrong way round because I had Saints winning close and Leeds winning by a margin, but I still picked the right winners in both games. In the Super Brew, I'm on the top ahead of Alan. In the host Super Brew, I'm on the top ahead of Alan. Tim, you're wearing the yellow cap there this week. You're up to third. Which means...
second time I've won the cap all season. Yeah, I was impressed. I remembered to do my predictions, to be honest.
Well, I'm thinking Sarah might have forgotten because she holds the spoon and falls to fourth. So there you go. In the main Super Roo competition, Steve Pye is top. Mark Butler, though, wears the yellow cap and rose a big 20 places this week. So he must have gone for 1 point win by Leeds. In the Fantasy League, of course, Alan Bagley stays top. And, of course, Alan Bagley remembered to change his team before this weekend. And, of course, he scored 615 points. There was only one person within 100 points of him. Well done, Alan. Because thanks for everyone who got their fan reviews in on this one. Obviously, getting back into the routine, and it built up in the second game compared to the first game. But next week we've got 5 games, so look out for the links to send your fan views in. Just click the link and send it through. If you're not on Twitter, then go to superleaguepod.com. You'll find a link embedded in each of our episode blog posts that takes you through to where you can put your views for the matches to send through to us each week. The link won't change, so you'll be able to use that each and every week. Thanks to those who continue to be involved in the show. Your fan reviews are what makes it what it is. We're now going to move on to other results.
Okay, so time for other results, and in the NRL Down Under, it was round 12, and it finished the Dragons of St George Illawarra 24, the South Sydney Rabbitohs 32, with the Burgess running for 188 metres.
Yeah, Alan Walker got in touch. He said, Latrell's back for Indigenous round, respect. Top shirts and painted boots. Pass back, move forward, get it on. RL is so far from perfect, but so much better than all the rest. Walker on fire, Johnston magic, always a South swing, glory, glory. It wasn't always a South swing. They were like 16-0 down at one point. Then they lost the halfback, but Cody Walker stepped up and had an absolute blinder, as well as Tom Burgess, who's been outstanding so far this year.
West Tigers 20, Warriors 26.
And Carson got in touch. He said, what an in-game decline from the Tigers. I must admit, I didn't even know the score of this one until I put it into the rundown. But yeah.
But only the Tigers could decline in-game. I mean, that's impressive even by themselves. It finished the Broncos 26, the Sharks 36, and young Herbert Farnsworth ran for 8 tackle busts and 175 metres.
Yeah, underlining why he deserved that new contract, even though his team is still shit.
Yeah, it finished the Roosters 18, Titans 12. Ryan Hall making 176 metres, so he pips Farnworth by a metre.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a good running forward, isn't he, Ryan Hall? He's just struggling to break through as a try scorer.
Yeah, he's doing. I said he should be in the back row years ago, and on this performance, I think he might have listened to me, but nobody else did. Cowboys 12, Raiders 14 in the first game I was awake for on Saturday morning. It finished with George Williams taking a try, Elliot Whitehead running for 104 metres, John Bateman standing up again for 1 try assist and 158 metres, and Ryan Sutton with the gift don't argue that went around the world and running for 123 metres as well. And we had a fan view on this one.
Yeah, it was some fan by Sutty that the day before his birthday. Karsten said, "Take these pommies home, please. We were close again, but shitty decision making and an even worse kicking game didn't give us a chance of winning. That turf didn't look good at all, as was Asiata's knee." Yeah, no one was good on that pitch, were they? Everyone was slipping and sliding everywhere. It looked like it had just a layer of turf on top of a concrete car park or something, the way that it was cutting up. But
it looked like a cheap rug on a slippery floor.
Yeah. That's good analogy. The Cowboys kicking game, that had the rug pulled from under them as well, didn't it? Because they just couldn't get the kicking game together in this one, and it was a huge factor in the end. But really, Williams' try was just, we've seen it lots of times, but down the golden edge of Wigan, not down the right edge of the Raiders. But George Williams in support of a really good piece of build-up play as well that involved Williams and Bateman to set Kottrich free down the sideline. He showed power and pace, and then Williams tracking inside. We all knew he had the legs. All of us that have watched him in Super League for the last 6 years all knew that George.
There was a lot of doubt. There was a lot of doubt in the commentators, but yeah, you could see that was on for him. And George Williams being George Williams, he wasn't stopping unless 5 blokes were stopping him. He was going for that.
No, exactly. Yeah, he is at full pace in those situations, and he has to go as fast as his little legs will carry him. But he's got it. He's got it in him. And John Bateman.
Well, the nose acts as a sort of spoiler and fender, doesn't it? It pierces the air as he's running through, so it probably adds about 3 miles an hour to him. John Bateman was immense again in this game. He really stood up, and he's there's he knows he's going, but there is no lack of commitment or desire from him, as those of us who watched John Bateman for years would expect.
Yeah, I mean, in his first game of the season, it's like he hasn't skipped a beat, is it? He was one of the best players on the pitch, just as he was the last time we saw him playing for Great Britain in an abysmal Great Britain performance. He was not abysmal, and he made stuff happen. He just always wants to be around the play, which is why as a second rower you can still justify him being a significant signing at a club, because he's gonna get around the play and he's gonna make stuff happen. Ain't nobody like John Bateman.
It finished later on Saturday. The Manly Sea Eagles 12. What was that, Sunday?
No, this was Saturday. This was Saturday.
I was about to get in the car. Yeah, I watched the first half and then got in the car. Sea Eagles 12. The Chocolate Soldiers of Penrith Panthers 42. And we had a viewing on this one.
Yeah, David Hunter said, "Good to see the Bradford colours back in the first grade." I think he must be referring to the Panthers Indigenous kit, which I thought was really nice. I was a fan of them.
Yeah.
Some of them hit the spot for me, some of them don't. I think the South Sydney one looked a little bit like it had a coronavirus on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be offensive to any Indigenous artists because I don't know what they're trying to portray, and that's my own ignorance, but just the pretty swirls and stuff, I like the nice ones, and I do think the Panthers one was a nice one, although the Sea Eagles one wasn't bad either. They've always had nice Indigenous round kits, I think.
They always, I think the
colours work well.
I was about to say the colour palette lends itself to that because it's that highlight accent. It works quite well from a design point of view. On to Sunday and
I'm just going to mention the Panthers were absolutely clinically brilliant in this game, and I don't think the Sea Eagles were that shit to be on the back end of that scoreline was just because the Panthers were so exceptional, I think. But
yeah, they are looking good, and there's a lot of talk about them having a soft draw, but I don't think it is. I think they've done well against whoever they've faced. and I think they're looking like they could well go for it this year. But there we go.
Yep.
It finished on to Sunday. It finished the Bulldogs 16, the Eels 18. Luke Thompson making 43 tackles and 111 metres.
David Hunter said, "Guess it didn't rain enough this week. The Eels were impressive early, but they clocked off." Like, he has to get his little hypothetics in, doesn't he? By the way, thanks, David, for the shout out on your show, Hypothetic Rugby League, this week. It was a Super League based one. He's going to throw in Super League ones, I'm guessing, every 4 or 5 weeks, just to keep us all in the Northern Hemisphere kind of clicked in and engaged, because, you know, there's only so many times I can hear him talk about the population of Glebe and want to listen next week, but then he tells me it's going to be a Super League one. He knows what he's doing. He's bringing us in. He's bringing us into the fold there, is David.
He's showing you a bit of leg and then just to keep you interested. Yeah, we know what you're up to. And in the final game of the week in the NRL, it finished the Storm 26, the Newcastle Knights 16.
Yes, that means the standings see the Panthers stay on top on 21 points. The Storm and Eels are second and third with 20 points each. Roosters are up to fourth on 16, joined on 16 by the Raiders. The Sharks are up to sixth on 14 points, but the Knights dropped to seventh with 13. Souths are back in the top 8 on 12 points, with the Seagulls just outside the top 8 on points difference. West Tigers have 10, Dragons Warriors have 8, Cowboys, Titans and Broncos have 6, the Queensland 3 have 6, and the Bulldogs remain bottom on 4 points.
Yeah, so that's the NRL done.
Yep, we're now going to move on to our predictions for round 8 of Super League. Okay, preview and predictions time, and it's round 8 of Super League, and it's still kind of, we haven't got a clue necessarily, isn't it? With I know we've seen 4 teams play, and 3 of those we see again this weekend, but ultimately we don't really know what form everyone's coming into these with, so we've got to kind of work it out as we go at this stage and make punts in the dark. But we're going to start with Saturday 4:15. It's the first time we'll see Castleford against the second time we'll see the Catalans. What do you make of this one looking ahead, Tim?
My pure shot in the dark says Cass for this one. I think they've got more quality in their side. Obviously, we don't know the teams at this point, but generally their squad quality is probably higher than that of the Catalan. And certainly, if they're on that performance, it looks like they're in their sort of bad away run, but they're going to be doing it for a few weeks. So yeah. It's this time of year, it's Catalan anyway. I mean, they'll probably just fall back into old habits. So that's as much as I've got, really.
I'm going to go Catalans because they've played a game. I think that might be vital for them. So that's the only reason I'm plumping for Catalans to win. Catalans by 8, but I really wouldn't be surprised if Cass won by 20 either. You know, but I'm gonna stick my neck out with Catalans for this one. Second game up is 6:30 p.m. Also, obviously, all these games on Sky, and then on our league if you've got your season ticket codes and however else you watch it around the world. 6:30 p.m. Warrington versus Hull Kingston Rovers. So the first time we're going to see these guys, and Hull KR we won't see again for a while either after this
one. But they have had an extra week's training.
They have, yeah, that's right. So could that be vital? Do you think that's going to be enough to get them a win, especially when you think that one of Wire's key playmakers has missed an extra week of the fewer weeks they've had as well with his trip to Liverpool?
I don't think they'll have enough to be. I think, unfortunately, I have to tip against my own boys and I have to pick Warrington. I just think that their overall quality is probably higher. I think the extra week's training will have helped KR, but I just don't think it will be enough. And I don't think Mr. Smith will be able to do too much, but I remain hopeful.
Yeah, I think Warrington just have a higher class of player, unfortunately, for your guys. So I do think it'll be Warrington. I've gone Warrington by a nice margin here. Why am I 14? Then into Sunday's games, 1 p.m. kickoff. a nice early afternoon start. Salford versus Hull FC.